All right, welcome back, everyone. We are diving deep again today.
Back into the deep end.
Yeah, back into the deep end.
With another crazy topic.
Oh, yeah, this is a big one.
Yeah, this one is wild.
Trump won the election last night.
Yeah. Defied all expectations, really.
Defied all expectations. I mean, all the polls had him down. He was facing, what was it, four?
Four criminal indictments.
Four criminal indictments.
The precedent.
Unprecedented. And
it's never happened before.
Never happened, yeah, in history. And he still won.
Yeah, so...
That begs the question, I mean, obviously we're going to dive into this, but like, what happens now? What happens to those four criminal indictments?
That's the big question, right? And we're looking at this Business Insider article from, well, today, November 6, 2024.
Hot off the press.
Hot off the press, yeah. Trump still has four criminal indictments waiting for him. Here's what happens now that he's won, it says.
So does he just get away with it? Is it just like...
Well, no, not necessarily.
Not that straightforward.
It's not that straightforward, right? Yeah. Winning the election doesn't just wipe the slate clean, legally speaking.
So the indictments are still there?
They're still there. They don't just disappear.
Like hitting pause on a movie? It doesn't just stop?
It's not like hitting pause, yeah.
Okay.
It's more like the movie keeps playing, but maybe at a different speed.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Walk me through this. What happens now? What are the different possibilities here?
All right, so you have to understand. An indictment is a formal accusation, right? It means a grand jury has looked at the evidence and said, yeah, there's enough here to go to trial.
Right, so that already happened.
That part's done, right? So
Yeah.
Now the question is, how do these trials move forward?
So what are the options? I mean, can they just delay them? Can they?
Absolutely, they can delay them. There are a lot of moving parts here: scheduling, witnesses, evidence, and of course the defendant is now the president of the United States.
Right, that complicates things.
Complicates things a lot, right? So delays are almost inevitable. But then the question is, how long? Are we talking weeks, months, years?
Could they even try to drop the charges completely?
That's a possibility, but it's a tricky one. Prosecutors would need a very strong legal basis for dropping charges, especially in cases of this magnitude.
Yeah, I imagine there would be a lot of public scrutiny.
Oh, absolutely. Public pressure would be immense. People would be watching very closely to see if there's any sense of favoritism or political influence.
I mean, the optics of it, right? Dropping charges against a sitting president, even if there's a legitimate legal reason, it
doesn't look good.
Doesn't look good. And this article mentioned a Supreme Court ruling about presidential immunity. What's that about?
Right, so this ruling, and we don't have all the details here, but it apparently deals with the scoop of presidential immunity. What kind of legal protections a president has while in office.
So could that protect Trump from these indictments?
Yeah, potentially, yeah. It depends on how the ruling is interpreted. It could be seen as a broad protection, shielding him from pretty much any legal action while he's president.
Like a get-out-of-jail-free card.
Well, not quite that simple, but you get the idea. But it could also be interpreted more narrowly, leaving room for these cases to proceed, at least to some extent.
Oh, wow. So a lot hinges on this Supreme Court ruling then.
A lot hinges on this, yeah. And this is where things get really interesting because there's no clear precedent for this.
Right. We've never had a president?
Never had a president elected with multiple criminal indictments.
Yeah. I mean, we had Clinton with the impeachment.
Right, but that was different.
Totally different, yeah, because that was during his presidency.
Exactly. Those charges stemmed from actions while in office. This is completely uncharted territory.
So if this goes to trial, I mean, could you imagine a sitting president on trial?
It would be unbelievable. I mean, can you imagine the media circus?
Oh, it would be insane.
The political fallout, the impact on the country. It's mind-boggling.
So what are the bigger implications here? Not just for Trump, but for, the country.
Well, this whole situation raises a lot of questions about the balance of power, right? How do we hold our leaders accountable? Is anyone truly above the law?
Yeah, heavy stuff. Makes you think, right? I mean, what does this mean for future elections? Will we see more candidates running with pending legal issues?
That's possible. I mean, if Trump can win with 4 indictments hanging over him, it could change the game completely.
So what's the big takeaway for our listeners today? What should they be thinking about as this unfolds?
I think the big takeaway is that this is a historic moment, a real turning point. We're seeing the intersection of law and politics in a way we've never seen before.
And it's not over.
And it's far from over. This is just the beginning.
Lots to think about. And for folks who want to dig deeper, where should they start?
Well, I think understanding that Supreme Court ruling on presidential immunity is crucial. That's going to be a key factor in how this all plays out.
Great suggestion. I mean, who knows what's going to happen next?
Nobody knows. That's the thing.
Crazy times.
It's going to be a wild ride, that's for sure.
Well, thanks for diving deep with us today. This has been a fascinating...
Absolutely. Always a pleasure.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you all next time.
See ya.